Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Well, this is Toolbox Gallery 2. There was Toolbox Gallery 1, and unfortunately the last half of it just kind of got cropped off. This is a workmate shop box. Now, some of you may have seen the video before where I showed you how I put legs on it. Got quite a reaction out of that one. I won't take you back through the whole operation of making the legs. I'll put an address in the description to show you where you can go to find it. The workmate workbox, I kind of poo-pooed it, but now that I've been using it for a while, it's actually handy in a way. It's got some clever things to it. Has room for tool storage and a nice little tool tray in here. And it has these stops, bench dogs that you can put in there to clamp things in. The vise that's an integral part of the toolbox. So for those apartment complex jobs where you don't have a whole place to build a workshop, this will do. You can put it on your kitchen table, clamp it down, don't let the wife see it, but you can put it on the kitchen table or, as in this case, a typing stand, and it brings it just about to the perfect working height, and do your minor jobs with it. Because I have a workshop, I don't keep a lot of tools and toolboxes. I have them in drawers and hanging on the wall, as you can see behind me. But this is a handy little thing to have. It also has a storage spot down here where you can put screws and nuts and washers and things. So it's actually kind of a cool little bugger. This toolbox came with a bunch of stuff in it, most of which has gotten moved around and put away other places. It has a place for two saws to go into the top. Got these little turn buttons so that you can lock the handles in. It didn't come with a till. It has a place for a till, but it didn't come with a till. Somebody wasn't worried about having anybody steal their stuff. They just wanted to have a way to close the box. So they fastened that hasp on there, and that works pretty good for them. I probably will go through and clean this up, but I won't do a whole lot more to it. My mom, after she retired, got into doing stained glass. So she ended up with a toolbox. After she passed, I inherited it. And I haven't really done anything with it. It's just been sitting on the shelf. It has the tools that she bought and used. Some things that she worked on. This was one of her original projects where she just took a broken piece of glass and put edging on it and joined it all together in a nice soldered joint. Some of this stuff I haven't seen in 10 years. Little sanding block that she had made. Box full of wood chisels. And this is my mom's writing where she wrote her name on top of the box. It's been a long time since I've seen this stuff. She was taking a stained glass course at the local senior center and had a lot of fun with it. Really enjoyed it. I'd never seen this before. It's a little carved hound dog that she started. And the thing to have in a toolbox that you're going to be working with stained glass, Mom being a nurse was always prepared. She has Band-Aids and an empty pill bottle. This is a project she started. I don't even know what it is. That's Mom's toolbox. This toolbox belonged to my father-in-law, and it is stuffed full of wrenches. Some of these are antiques, but most of them are just clunkers that got thrown in a toolbox. One of the things I don't like about toolboxes, you can put things in them and never see them again. I get this out once in a blue moon. It's got some cool stuff in it. This is a ratchet, which is a basic ratchet. I think it was part of a tool for using on a car. It looks like the kind of thing that you get in a car toolkit. It allows you to ratchet this way, and if you flip it over, it ratchets the other way. Some screwdrivers, some brake kit parts, an old Kawasaki toolbox. Just basically a bunch of junk. I don't know where this toolbox came from. It's been around a while. It looks like something that my dad would have had. Dad was real fond of PL 400, and this has got a bunch of goop in it, but it could just be an old guy that, like my dad, liked PL 400. I don't really remember where this came from. If anybody comes and wants to borrow a toolbox, this is the one I'm going to give them. This is my toolbox from where I worked at Douglas Auto Tech. Douglas Auto Tech had a lot of nice people in there, and some guys that were real, well, let's be generous and say they weren't my kind of people. But because I was the maintenance supervisor had kind of a special position at Douglas Auto Tech. Because of contractual situations, the maintenance supervisor could work. It was a union shop, and I wasn't a member of the union, but because I was the maintenance supervisor and might have to teach somebody how to do something, it allowed me to work. So I had a toolbox there. These tools were not at Douglas Auto Tech. I used the toolbox just to keep a few things in my office so that I'd have a place to lock them up and people couldn't get in there and take them. Now it carries things like this old square D tester. My dad gave this to me, and I think his dad gave it to him. It's designed to test for just voltage. It doesn't do anything other than that. It says presence of voltage. It's kind of it's not a continuity tester. It's just a thing to say there's power here. Some antique tools. This is a pair of lineman's pliers. An old automobile wrench. Something for a... This is part of a skill saw. Not a very good one. It's a grip guide. A hammer. I don't know what you want to have this hammer for, but evidently somebody thought it was important because they made it and chromed it. A pair of wire cutters and strippers. You can set it for different widths of wire by sliding this scale up and down. It doesn't work well. That's why it's in the toolbox. Joining tool. I've used this, but it's mostly something Dad had for smearing around PL 400. You know, I told you that he liked this stuff. Fuse puller. I'll have to put this in with a hex socket toolkit. This is one of those ratcheting hex socket toolkit things, and this one appears to be stuck. Just needs to have a better lever. The idea was that you could slip this over an Allen wrench and use it to drive a socket. I very seldom use them. But I'll put those in the toolbox with the other ones that are out in the garage. And this is for putting wire screen in a screen door. I don't know why I have this. I think it came in a toolbox full of stuff. But it's got a little wheel on here so that you can run the rubber bead into the edge of it, and then it's got a little roller here so you can tuck the wire in. So you tuck the wire into the edge, put the rubber bead in there, and then use this roller to drive the rubber bead down in. And there's all kinds of channel lock pliers. I don't know how many of these channel lock pliers. Dad had a bunch of them, and they're very good pliers. I just like using them. A lot of dikes. Heavy duty riveter. It's a Stanley MR88. Nippers. Tin snips. These are called aviation tin snips. The green one is right-handed, the red one is left-handed, and these are for cutting circles. The difference between the yellow one, which is a left-handed, and the red one, which is a left-handed, is this one has straight jaws, this one has curved jaws. This one lets you cut above the sheet metal so that you can actually have the handles up here and cut around through it and not have to have your hand inside the cut. And this one puts your hand right inside the cut. When you're cutting this, the metal has to go past both sides of the handle. There are a great many tin snips, and that would be a whole video all on its own. Once again, these tools get into a toolbox. Unless I have a specific need for them and go hunting for them, I don't see them. This one came out of a garage sale, and it's just packed full of tools that I don't use very often. Slip joint pliers. I don't like slip joint pliers. I don't know why I keep slip joint pliers, but I certainly have a lot of slip joint pliers. Evidently, it's something that everybody has a ton of. And I seem to collect them because I'm what's called a bottom feeder. As things die and filter down to the bottom of the pool, they end up in my toolbox. So, if you're wondering where your slip joint pliers went, they probably ended up in my toolbox. For some reason, I've got them. Along with all those various little pin snips. I have a few crimping tools. It's a multi-purpose tool. You know how I love multi-purpose tools. This is one of the reasons that I don't like multi-purpose tools. This one does ignition terminals, coaxial fittings, wire cutters, got a wire stripper in it. It also crimps insulated terminals and cuts bolts anywhere from 8/32 up to 10/32. Doesn't do any of them well. You can see I bought this one because I needed to have a terminal someplace, and so I bought the terminal box and that came with it. Now this is a better set. This is made by Weldum, and it's better, but it still strips terribly. So it's in the box with slip joint pliers and the extra pop rivet tool and this scraper, which doesn't have a blade. This is an old toolbox my dad gave me. It's got nothing in it. It's been at the garage sale a couple of times, I think. Still got a sticker on it marked $3. I didn't buy it. That's where Lydia tried to sell it at a garage sale and nobody was going for it. This is a toolbox that I bought because it was just a good price. It's a nice sized toolbox. It has one till in it. It's divided up into 3 sections. And it came packed full of drill bits. Now, not all these drill bits that are in here came with it. I consolidated some drill bits in here. That's how I ended up with this Greenlee auger bit in here, which really doesn't go with any of the old ones that I have. This was one of Dad's. But I don't use it, so it gets stuck in here. And it's in here with a lot of other stuff which I don't use very much. This is a extension for Greenlee bits. This is an extension for Greenlee bits, but I don't have much use for it, so it stays here in the toolbox. This is just an old Stanley level that I ended up with because it came in a toolbox full of stuff. The end of it's broken off. It's supposed to have another level vial on the other end, but it was kind of cool, and so I put it in the toolbox so it wouldn't get damaged any further. These are what's called ship augers, and I have a pile of them. I don't really have a use for them, but they're in good shape, so I kept them. One of the features that I really like about this toolbox is the way you can store saws in it. Now this is a really bad saw. It's only in here just because I wanted to have one in the frame of this box. The medallion says E.C. Atkins, but I'm pretty sure that the blade doesn't fit this handle, and the handle's been chewed up and modified, so the whole thing's pretty much a bust. So it can sit here, just taking up space inside this toolbox and not hurt anything. I bought this tool cabinet because it came loaded with drill bits. Not these drill bits, these have been put in there since then. It had a full set of drill bits in it and a square and a saw blade. And at the time, I didn't have a lot of drills. Now I seem to have gathered up a few hundred more. It's a cool box and I like it, but it really doesn't have much use for me. So it just kind of hangs around on the wall. It does provide a nice place to keep some of the drill bits, so I have access to them, and they keep reminding me that I need to do something with them. The last toolbox in the series is this tackle box that I keep my Dremel parts in. Got diamond wheels and grinding bits and cut-off wheels, little drill bits and chucks, router bases, all kinds of stuff in here. And that's all the toolboxes that I have. So if I get any more, I'll have to make another video and show you any of the new ones that I get, but I don't anticipate getting a lot more of them. But you never know. That's all. If you have any suggestions for new videos or questions about today's video or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop me a note in the comments below. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.